Okay, so someone asked a question about the quadratic equation and perfect squares. So first of all, let's talk about what a perfect square is. A perfect square is a number who has a square root, which is a whole number. Okay? So for instance, 16 is a perfect square, since the square root of 16 is 4. Or you could also think about it is there's a number that if you square, you can get 16. That's what it means to be a perfect square. Okay? Another example would be the square root of 25 is equal to 5, or equivalently, 5 squared equals 25. Alright, so let's talk about what the whole discriminant thing is. So if I have an equation, which is say ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. It's a quadratic equation because of the 2. We want to solve for x. Now, we don't solve for x like we would a linear equation. Instead, we have the solution that x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2 times a. Alright? Now, this part in here, the b squared minus 4ac, is called the discriminant. Because, and it's important because if this is negative, taking the square root will give us an imaginary number. If it's positive, we're going to get negative b plus this number and negative b minus that number, all divided by 2a, to get two different solutions. If b squared minus 4ac is 0, then the square root of 0 is 0, and negative b plus or minus 0 is the same thing. So it would be negative b over 2a would be the only solution. So it's pretty important because if the discriminant is negative, we have two imaginary solutions. If it's positive, we have two real solutions. And if it's 0, we have one solution. Alright. So let's look at an example where we can actually use this. And let's look at the equation that x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay? Now if I write, say, ax squared plus bx plus c underneath, well, there's a 1 in front of the x. I don't write it because it's obvious, but there's always a 1 in front of the x if there's nothing else. So we have a equals 1, b equals 2, c equals negative 3. So let's calculate the discriminant. So the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. Well, b is equal to 2, so it's going to be 2 squared minus 4. A is 1, and c is negative 3. So 2 squared is 4, and a negative 4 times a 1 is still a negative 4, so it's minus 4 times minus 3. And a minus 4 times a minus 3 is going to be a positive 12. So it's going to be 4 plus 12 is equal to 16. So the discriminant is actually 16. Okay? So the b squared minus 4ac is just equal to 16 in this case. And what that tells me is that I'm going to have negative b plus or minus 16 all over 2a. So I can write this as negative b plus or minus the square root of 16 divided by 2a. The square root of 16 is 4. So that's going to equal to negative b plus or minus 4 divided by 2a. Now let's fill in the gaps. I know a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 2. So this is going to equal to negative 2, because b is 2, so negative b is minus 2, plus or minus 4 divided by 2. Okay? So x is equal to 2 plus or minus 4 divided by 2. So it's going to be x is equal to negative 2 plus 4 divided by 2. Or x is equal to negative 2 minus 4 divided by 2. Well, in this case over here, we're going to have a positive 4 and a negative 2. If you have $2 in debt, you deposit 4, you're going to have $2. So this is going to equal 2 divided by 2, which is going to equal 1. So x equals 1 is the solution. And minus, if you're negative 2 in debt and you go out and spend 2 more, it's negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So this is equal to negative 3. So x equals 1 and x equals negative 3 are the solutions to this equation over here, x squared plus 2x minus 3. If we want to check that they're solutions, again, we have the equation that's x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So what I'm saying the solutions are is x equals 1 and x equals negative 3. So let's check that they're solutions. So if x is equal to 1, I have 1 squared plus 2 times 1 minus 3 equals 0. Is that true? 1 plus 2 minus 3 equals 0. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. 0 equals 0. Check. Good. So let's try with negative 3. So x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Well, if x is negative 3, it's negative 3 squared plus 2 times negative 3 minus 3 equals 0. Well, negative 3 times negative 3, a negative times negative is a positive, so it's going to be positive 9. And that's going to be 2 times the negative 3 is negative 6 minus 3 equals 0. Well, a minus 6 and a minus 3 is a minus 9, so it's 9 minus 9 is equal to 0. 0 equals 0. Check. So these are my two solutions. Okay? So I hope that cleared everything up, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to let me know. Have a great day.